Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series, Season 2, Episode 23. It's a platform where leaders talk on growth, strategy, sustainability, innovation, and opportunity. It's a platform to connect people with business and get an insight of business through the leaders. In our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Karan Motwani, who is MD of HP Adhesives Limited. Hi, Karan. Welcome to VYAPT Growth Series.
Hi Pankaj, thank you very much for inviting me.
Karan, in our series, we have four curiosities, and we'll start with first curiosity now. And the first curiosity is around the growth of the adhesive industry, particularly HP Adhesives Limited. So my first curiosity is what are the growth prospects of adhesive industry and how is this working towards making a sustainable future?
Thanks for the question, Pankaj. See, adhesives and sealant is an old yet a very fast-moving technology industry. Products, applications, services keep changing consistently. When I talk about adhesives, I'm going to cover adhesives, sealants, and all the products that we do. There's a constant move, of innovation that is always happening in the adhesive industry, and the reason for that is the change and improvement in customer demand. I mean, as you see over the years, products have improvised because the demands of the consumer have changed. Pre-COVID to post-COVID, and 10 years before that to 10 years before that, every 10 years or every decade, this industry goes through a massive change. 20 years ago or 25 years ago, solvent cement, our core product, was not a very big industry because people use metal piping. Today, the entire piping system for your internal plumbing, external plumbing, and drainage is all solvent cement and plastic. So the industry has gone through massive change. And in times to come, that will keep changing. Whether you talk about sealants, for example, 20 years ago in India, the sealant consumption was very, very low. I mean, it's still per capita consumption wise very, very small, but it has grown almost tenfold in the last 10 to 15 years, and that's substantial growth. When you talk about other adhesives, also there is similar kind of trend is seen, where newer and newer technologies are being adapted. Hot melt, predominantly earlier we had only the PVA based adhesives for the woodworking industry. Now we have the hot melts and other similar, fast operating moisture curing adhesives that are being operated, which are maybe polyethylene based. Industry constantly goes through a phase of change. HP Adhesives has played a very part in this journey in the last 15-20 years, is where we have innovated with the market. We listen to our customers. We believe that market is sacrosanct, and what it tells you is
Karan, I think we have lost you in somewhere in between.
sorry. I think it. Can you hear me? What
Yeah.
should I start again or? Yeah. So
No,
like I
you
said,
were
right?
talking about the, yeah, please go ahead.
No, you can tell me where you lost me so I can.
Yeah, so you were talking about this industry being sacrosanct, and then
Yeah, the
we
market.
got lost in between. Yeah, please.
Yes, yeah, sorry about that. So the market is very sacrosanct. It teaches you everything. It tells you what you need to know. You have to keep your eyes on the ground, keep your ears on the ground, and keep listening. That's the most important thing. So HP also, about 5-6 years ago was a single product company. Today we are into 5 to 6 chemistries of adhesives. We are trying to cover as many products in home improvement and home improvisation segment as possible, and we keep adding newer chemistries as well as improved product versions of our existing products, because the Indian consumer is very, very demanding. It is very smart. It learns very fast. It watches what the world does and wants to implement it at a very breakneck speed. So companies like HP would benefit from this because we are agile, we're small, we know how to adapt quickly to markets, technologies, products, and that's where the growth for companies like us will come in over the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, we've all seen that after COVID we spent so much time at home that we've started fixing things at home and we want to get things repaired which were earlier just sitting there. So now with that as a trend, we see that a lot of home improvement is constantly happening. Somebody who used to earlier do his house up once in 20 years now every 2 3 years wants to change something about their interior, some new glass work, some new wardrobe, something of that sort. So the post-COVID era is going to be very very interesting for companies like us, where we are in the home improvement space, and the home improvement space is changing at a very very fast pace.
Wonderful. So you talked about that the kind of growth opportunities coming up in the next 10 to 20 years for this adhesive industry, and you also talked about the consumer mindset which is changing, post COVID era. Can you also talk about the kind of sustainability, or in terms of reducing the carbon footprint which the industry is doing so as to secure the future of the people?
See, Pankaj, I very proudly say this about our industry. Most adhesive businesses, and I really don't know any adhesive business that does any kind of either air or water pollution. Because 100% of our product can be reprocessed. So we are like a
Mhm.
soap company, and in a soap factory, not a single gram of raw material can ever be wasted. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of money. So in the same way, when it comes to us also, even if a batch goes wrong, we know how to correct it. We just never drain product out. So we have a very very low carbon footprint at this moment also. Even during application process, we are a cold welding or cold application. We do it with simple applicators. Most of the adhesives are not even do not require power also to actually install or utilize them. So we already have a very very low carbon footprint. But on the other hand, what we are doing is some of the chemical based products that we make, like solvent cement, PVA, rubber adhesives, in that we are going for low and ultra low VOC products, whereby reducing the volatile organic fume also that is released by the product, okay, which is on application. After it's been packed into container, when it is opened, there is a certain amount of volatile fumes that go out. We are making our products more and more low VOC, thereby and following US standards when it comes to this. So I mean, the adhesive industry, I proudly say this for myself as well as for my colleagues in the industry, is we do a fantastic job in keeping up carbon footprint from very little to nil. And I mean, we'll continue to do that, but there isn't much left for us compared to some of the other industries, more higher polluting industries.
That's good to know, Karan, that the industry is doing so much for sustainability aspects. My second curiosity comes from the first curiosity itself. You talked about the growth, you talked about sustainability, but every growth comes with certain amount of innovation in a particular industry or a particular organization which you represent. So, can you talk on the innovation in adhesive industry and the kind of innovation which HP Adhesives Limited is doing for its customers, and what are the employment opportunities which this industry is creating, both from direct and indirect perspectives?
Um, let me answer your employment question first. So see, the industry, India's per capita consumption of adhesives is very low. As we increase our per capita consumption, as we push the users to get newer and newer products from us, use more and more adhesives and sealants where traditionally they were not used. Earlier, I'll give a very simple example. We make a product called No Need Nails,
Hmm.
which is basically a product that can stick anything which earlier used nails to hang it in a bathroom, like a bathroom mirror, for example. Now we're using that, we're giving him a solution where he doesn't have to drill a hole and then put a nail there and then hang his mirror. We give him a solution where he can just apply a sealant on the back of the mirror and directly stick it to the wall. And when he wants to remove it, without damaging his entire bathroom, he just pulls it out with a little extra force, and the entire mirror can come off. He can replace the old sealant with a new one, or replace the old mirror with a new mirror. So,
Mhm.
very simply to say that we're giving more and more products to the market, which were earlier not even used. I mean, we're creating categories, and as we create categories, there are a newer set of direct employment. Obviously, is via technical staff, production staff, the field staff, as well as techno commercial people who do trainings for all our applicators. I mean, you have to understand, Adhesive is neither a B2B business nor a B2C business. It's a B2A business, which is business to applicator. Applicator is the most important guy for us. So by training him, we are creating additional opportunities for him. we're making him a better individual, better professional at his own work, as well as the entire staff that goes behind all of this. I mean, with the growth of the adhesive industry, I mean, if let's put it very simply, if India's per capita consumption even comes to the world average, the industry will be about 5 times the size it is currently at. And when that happens, coupled with the growth that it will take over the next 10 to 15 years while we get into that space, I think we will almost probably quadruple the total employment generated by the adhesive industry directly or indirectly. So that is, I think the part that we are playing. So as I said, it's the direct employment that we generate via newer products, additional sales, R&D, all of that, as well as the applicator-oriented growth, because more and more applicators will be required if you want to do constant home improvement, as well as the fact that the allied industries next to us, whether it be packaging material, whether it be raw material, they all also benefit further. And your
You
second
talked
question,
about,
I didn't get.
yeah,
I would love you to repeat your second question.
yeah. So I was talking about the innovation in this sector,
Sure.
adhesive segment. Yeah.
So I'll tell you. I mean, within the sector, there is a lot of innovation happening in general. Whether when you talk about, and I can go category by category. I think the most interesting, innovative category at the moment is the sealants category, in which we are among the recognized players. In the sealants category, we constantly see the fact that there is products like MS polymer, hybrid sealants, heard of in India, though they are probably 20, 30, 40-year-old technologies. But 10 years back, they were not seen in India. Now these products are being utilized. We have brought them, even though they were very, very high price point products. Initially, our distributor feedback was like, sir, it's very expensive. It won't, Indian consumer can't pay so much. Today, these products have become household products. So, the as famous businessman who I really follow says, in India, supply creates demand. It's said by Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and he says supply will always create demand. Just create supply for your products, and you will see the market just take it off the shelf. So that's, I think, a very, very important lesson for all of us, that we need to constantly keep bringing in new products, allowing our customers, taking the risk, bringing in new products, allowing our customers to actually, you know, giving them an opportunity to test these products out. Yes, some things may not work, but I have not seen any product in the adhesive industry that's actually never worked for the market. Tweaks have worked. You need to tweak it to the customer's demand more and more, but everything really works eventually. So whether it's PVA adhesive, whether it's solvent cement, the Indian adhesive industry is doing a lot in terms of innovation. Category by category, people are trying to better their products, trying to make them heat resistant, water resistant, different applications. So all our PVA adhesives have to be water resistant. Earlier, probably 20, 30 years back when furniture was made, you would, after a few rainy seasons, see bubbles within the ply and the laminate.
True.
Now that doesn't happen because your adhesives are water resistant or waterproof.
Mm.
So that is a level of innovation that we're constantly focusing on. And I think these are things we've got from our customers. I mean, water resistant adhesive was something that the customers demanded. And
Mhm.
all the companies that heard them have benefited from that.
True, true. So, Karan, you talked about different kind of innovation which is happening in the industry. You also talked about the growth, the sustainability, as well as the opportunities provided in this industry to the people. We move on to our next round, which is a rapid fire round. Well, we'll have 10 questions. Each question has to be answered in a word or a maximum of a sentence. Are you ready?
So, yeah. Pankaj, I'm not getting your voice very clearly. Sorry.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, better. It's better.
Okay, so the next round is going to be a rapid fire round. We'll have 10 questions. And each question has to be answered in a one word or a maximum of a sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Okay, so here we go, Karan.
Yeah.
Uh, so the in rapid fire round, we have the first question: Who is your inspiration and why?
Sorry, I lost your question. The network is not perfect somehow. I'm so
No,
sorry about that.
who is your inspiration?
I think Ratan Tata. I think you'd be an inspirational leader for everybody.
Wonderful. What's your favorite dessert?
Gajar halwa.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
SL World, I think.
Your dream destination?
Greece.
Your favorite sports person?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
If you had to be a Disney character, which would you be?
I think Iron Man from Marvel Disney. I think Marvel is part of Disney, so I can pull that off.
Okay. So if you could learn any language in a week, which would it be?
Mandarin.
Name a song that makes you happy.
Ain't No Sunshine. I'm a bit of a romantic, so
So what do you prefer? Reading a book or watching a movie?
watching a movie. I love the interaction, the interactive medium.
The 10th one. Do you make New Year resolutions?
Yes. Don't
So
ask me if
this
I keep.
no, I'll not. So this was 10 on 10 to you, Karan, in the rapid fire round. And this would allow us to move to our next curiosity, which is the last curiosity in the series. And it's about you as a leader. I'm sure taking the organization to a level where it is must have taken a lot of, efforts from your team, from you, and everybody, and every stakeholder at the organization. But when you talk about Karan, can you talk more around the memorable lessons did you learn from your mentors and how it has impacted you?
So, I've been fortunate to have a lot of people around me who've, been leaders for many, many years. Whether it's my own mother, whether it's my first boss, whether it's other people in my family. All of them have been pretty inspirational leaders because they pretty much came from nothing to get where they are. I think the one thing that they always cared about the most is keeping the employees happy. I think leaders are only built by. It's very simple. Do people get employed by a leader, or does the leader get hired by people? I think it's the second one. I think to be a leader, you have to have a following affinity of the people around you, and I think for that there's a lot of personal care and concern. And I spend a good amount of time in honestly caring about my people for a very simple reason that they are the ones who really drive the business. As an individual, you can't do much. I mean, I would have been another small and medium sector micro cap company, probably not having even a tenth of what I'm doing had it not been for my people. So I think people around you, good people, are the ones who really drive your organization. They really drive your future. Everything that we have built is on the shoulders of these people. So caring for them, looking out for them is one of the most important things in any organization. And no organization long term can sustain with extra money and poor attitude. I mean, I really believe that story. To be one of the biggest organizations in the country or in the world, or wherever, whatever domain you're playing in, you will need to care for the people who work for you, who work with you, and looking out for them, not only professionally but also personally. Understanding their problems, understanding their issues, solving those issues, helping them come out of those issues is the bottom basis of a business. And the beauty about helping people or working with them is that when you help one person out, everybody else, it becomes spectacle for everybody else. They start believing in the organization, in the leader, in the person. That if he's helped him, he'll probably help me in the future as well. And there's a loyalty and trust factor that get attached to your company. So I think that it's very, very important to learn all of these things. I mean, to follow this mantra as a leader. As far as my leadership journey goes, I mean, I started off very, very young, and I was in this. I was sort of, pushed into this because of the situation I had gone through. I lost my father at a very young age, and everything that I've done, I've learned here. My mistakes, my rights, my wrongs. It's all been here. What I've learned from not only my seniors, but my colleagues, my juniors, everybody, is that don't stop working hard. I mean, don't get it right the first time, you get it right the second time, or the third time, or the 146th time. But the moment you give up, it's never going to work for you. I mean, only till you stop, till you have given up, is it over. And second is, I think the other thing that I really believe, whether it's leadership or business strategy, is it only it's not done till it's done, right? I mean, to say it simply, nobody has done this before. You should not attempt it. I would never agree with that statement because someday somebody has to do it. So why can't you be the one to do it first? So
So you
I
you
think that
always
is a
believe in first mover advantage.
I believe in a lot. I think there's a very very high EQ value that gets attached to the first mover. Until unless he really does a bad job with it, he's always going to have an advantage over the rest of the group. And sometimes it's not just a first mover advantage about launching the product or doing something first. It's about how you do it more innovatively the first time. I mean, somebody did it, you did it more innovatively the first time. So that also could be a first. So it doesn't honestly have to be the first mover advantage. It could be the best first also.
Wonderful, Karan. You talked about your leadership style. The best thing about what you talked about was keeping employees happy and getting the best out of them. Showing the
Absolutely.
kind of potential they have. And the second thing which you talked was the employees actually run the organization. They bring laurels to the organization. They serve the customers and bring value to the stakeholders. Karan, I think the thought process what you have is really something really great, and I'm sure the young and budding entrepreneurs are also listening to this particular series, and they are getting a lot to learn from you.
Thank you. I hope I have managed to make one more person interested toward entrepreneurship.
Definitely, Karan. In not one but many, in fact. Thank you so much, Karan, for taking time to participate in VYAPT Growth Series, and it's been lovely and pleasure speaking to you, wherein you talk from your heart and mind, sharing the strategies and the growth plans of the organization as well as the adhesive industry. Thank you so much for being a part of VYAPT Growth Series.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you so much.